Like and subscribe.
Welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 24. You have me, Stretch, my good friend Tin Ribs, this Saints fan here, Jim Jam. I have got a couple of rants I want to go into. However, first, I would like to know if we have a Jim Jam Statman stat.
Do you want the long-winded one, or do you want the quick and easy one?
Whichever one you feel like giving us, pal.
So we'll go into... I'll do the quick one first, and then we'll go into more stats after the intro. So, there's one team left in the championship now that have not had a 0-0, because there were two teams. One of them was Southampton that have now had a 0-0, so there's one team left that have not had a goalless game.
I'm sort of thinking higher up the table. But it could be a team at the bottom, couldn't it? They just get smashed all the time as well. So that's difficult, isn't it? Unless you know it, that's difficult.
I don't feel
Ipswich, I think they'd struggle to have a.
I feel it's us.
It's not.
No.
No, I think
who did we draw 0-0 with?
Was it Ipswich you drew with?
No, we smashed Ipswich twice.
I would say, because it's just the contempt.
I can't remember off the top of my head who it was.
No, I can't think of how 0-0 was.
I'm thinking lower half of the table. Do you know what? I'm lost for that one.
Oh yeah,
I'm fully lost. Yeah,
it's high. It's high.
If it's higher, then Ipswich would be my
Leicester.
guess.
It's higher. It's Leicester.
It's Leicester.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's Leicester.
Leicester.
They've not had a 0-0 yet.
Wow.
It was Southampton and Leicester. And I was and I thought, I'm not going to say who it is. If we were going to play each other, I would have said it.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Who'd have thought?
So there you go.
It was Hull. Away at Hull.
There we go.
You drew 0-0.
Yeah, because I remember now because they literally parked the bus at home, which was just shocking.
Well, it happens, doesn't it, sometimes if you think you're going to lose. Right, I think that will...
Oh, actually for Wednesday.
Hello, welcome to episode 24. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I would like to point out at this point that we've actually got 109 subscribers on YouTube, which honestly I think is both amazing and unbelievable.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Mainly unbelievable.
Yeah.
And shocking. But we love every one of you. We think you're great. And we hope you enjoy the many, many, many episodes that we are yet to record, because we don't bore ourselves yet. You'll be surprised to hear. So, right, I want to go into a bit of a rant, right, because the Women's League Cup final last week, there was a bit of a hoo-ha afterwards, in which during the game, right, well, let's go back. Before the game, Chelsea stated, we don't want the multi-ball system.
Yeah.
Now, for those that don't know, the multi-ball system is where there are balls on cones around the pitch. So when the ball goes out of play, a ball boy can just pick a ball up really quickly, throw it to a player and get on with the game. Chelsea demanded that they did not want that to be a thing. They wanted a single ball game. So Arsenal said, okay, that's fine. So right towards the end of the game, when Arsenal were winning, the ball went out and Chelsea tried to pick a ball up off the cone. So the Arsenal manager put a stop to it and went, no, you didn't want that. You're not having it. To which Emma Hayes, Chelsea manager, then went up to, what's his name? I don't know his name now. Jonas Eideval.
Yeah.
She went up to Jonas at the end of the game, and as he went to shake her hand, she pushed him.
Yeah.
Now, what she said was she wasn't happy with the male aggression.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to point out that I don't think that males in football should have to put up with female hysteria. I don't think we should have to put up with females being hysterical for no fucking reason whatsoever. I think it's an absolute joke. And if he'd have pushed her at the end of the game,
completely different.
He'd be in prison now.
Yeah.
So why does she get away with basically assaulting him? As soft as it was, still assault. Because if he'd have pushed her the same way, you're damn sure they'd have done him for assault.
Probably because she used the words male aggression.
Male
to
aggression.
try and make people feel sorry for
You
her.
explain to me what male aggression is. Surely aggression is just aggression, regardless of where it's coming from.
Yeah, but in the propaganda farm, you've got to back your argument with bigot, racist, or just anything that you could scream over and over again when you're backed into a corner and can't logically back yourself in a debate. And that's all they've got. So by leading with that point, she's got the right to stand there and go, I'm unintelligible. I can't form a constructive debate. So I'm just going to stand there screaming one word at you and I'm going to win, because the very small minority of Twitter who nobody actually gives a shit about, apart from the people at the top, listen to.
I think the fact that absolutely nothing was done about it, I think is disgusting.
But that's the FA all over.
Absolutely disgusting.
I mean, Canio pushed a referee and got banned for
Didn't
games
like a 15 game ban or something crazy.
But the point here
is, fair, the push wasn't much different, but the reaction from Paul Olcott was a bit over the top.
Yeah.
But no, I think personally that if she'd have come out and apologised and said, I reacted in the moment, I think
at least then you'd have gone, well, at least you're accepting the fact that you were out of order at the end of the game.
I think, and that's the thing. If she'd said, I was over emotional, I shouldn't have done it, I'm sorry,
you'd have accepted it.
Everyone would have been fine.
You're on for a treble and you're pissed that you haven't got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
People understand that.
Heat of the moment.
People understand that you're running high during a football game, because people care about football. Whether you want to win.
People care more about the football than they do their own family in some cases.
Well, she cares more about football than she does about the court system, because she feels like she can do what the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
Well, the FA won't do anything about it, but they'll do it.
They've openly stated they're not going to do anything about it.
I would like, if anybody out there that does listen to this knows what male aggression is, I'd love you to tell me, because I honestly haven't got a clue. I thought aggression was aggression, regardless of where it was coming from, but there you go. But yeah, I think men should put a stand, and we should stop having to put up with all this female hysteria.
You know what would be interesting? I mean, I haven't looked it up. It'd be interesting if Joey Barton's had anything to say on the matter.
He very much has had
something to say on the matter.
I'm not word for word going to say what he said on a podcast. And we swear a lot. And I'm still not going to repeat what he said word for word.
Because I know he has a lot to say about the mixture of male and female.
He wasn't exactly complimentary on Emma Hayes, put it that way.
He probably wasn't entirely wrong, though. Probably
no. To be fair, he was well within his rights.
But is it getting to the point now where
he just got us cancelled?
Is it the point where it is getting to the point where you've got to keep it separate? Maybe the women's game is the women's game, absolutely 100% completely, and the men's game has got to stay 100% male as well. So. Because I don't think that females do a bad job of refereeing and linesmen. I mean, some of them are better than.
I was about to say, I think some of the
female officials are better than the male.
Far better than the male.
But if they say,
because
of this incident, say they ban men from that. Because, I mean, you're talking darts and stuff like that, and the women come through in the men's championship and play.
Do you know what,
but a male can't go into the women's and go win the tournament.
Do you know what?
They just say they identify as a woman.
Because of this incident, I can see them saying, okay, no more men in the women's game, but I guarantee they won't ban women from upping their game into the men's game. They'll still have female officials.
Absolutely.
Which is just annoying. Right. Arsenal versus Luton was the most irritating thing I have ever witnessed in my entire life. Right, we got to the 11th minute.
Yeah.
And we had to have a break in play. Any ideas why? A scheduled break in play for a Premier League football game. Why?
Is there some sort of Ramadan or some religious?
That's exactly what it is. Because there's a Muslim that plays for Luton, we had to stop a Premier League football game so that he could eat and drink because he's been fasting up. Tough shit. Anyway, that's my moan about that. So if we're going to get cancelled, it's going to be because of that. Do you know what? Honestly, don't care. Honestly, don't care. If you're going to starve. Don't stop Premier League football because you don't know whether you're meant to be eating between 7 and 7. Couldn't give a shit, mate.
To be fair, he should probably just run off a pitch, eat what he does. He can do what he wants. I mean, his beliefs
Right,
are his beliefs.
I believe Jason Puncham was at Southampton when
He went for a shit.
Well, the game didn't stop for him.
No, it didn't. He actually made an amazing celebration on his next goal.
That was superb, by the way.
It was.
I really enjoyed that. That was
and
brilliant.
The Southampton fans
Yeah, but
chanted.
they didn't stop the game for him.
No.
So why stop the game for Muslims?
They shouldn't stop the game. We're going to talk goalkeepers. So specifically, I'm going in the Championship because I'm looking at why Southampton are not going to get automatic promotion this season when everything about the way they've played this season in normal years, they'd be in the top two. Okay, it's a better standard this year and there's 3 better teams than us this season. But I'm like, why are we not there? So I'm looking for the mainstay and stuff like that. So I'm like, goalkeepers. So you got to save your shot. So I picked 7 goalkeepers. So I've got...
Is that top 7 in the Championship?
No, not top 7. Because it's not entirely random. So I've obviously done Southampton. I've done Leicester because they're top. I've done Leeds because they're 10. And they're up there. And Ipswich because they're up there as well.
Okay.
So I picked the one with the highest save percentage as well, which was Max O'Leary from Bristol City. And I then picked Johansson because I've heard good things about him from Rotherham and they got relegated. So they're bottom of the league and already out. And then I picked John Ruddy because Birmingham have been very hit and miss and I think they're just in the relegation zone now. Okay. So that was kind of my thought process. So I'm not doing no kicking malarkey or any balls like that because for me, the goalkeeper is there to save the ball from going in the back of the net.
I'm with you.
That's his main purpose.
I'm with you on that.
This kicking malarkey is anything. And with the way Southampton play, we play out from the back. So fucking my 4-year-old child can probably kick the ball to the player that stood 2 yards away from him.
Couldn't agree more.
So kicking's not exactly that difficult when you're playing out from the back, which is kind of the way it goes.
I would agree.
So I'll start with the save percentages. So this is for all the games. So Bazunu, 63.2%. Leicester's goalkeeper, Hermison, 74.3%. Melier, Leeds goalkeeper, 72.2%. Hajaki, Ipswich goalkeeper, 66%. Max O'Leary from Bristol City, 74.5%. Victor Johansson, 68.3%. And John Ruddy of Birmingham, 68.6%.
Which wonder how many shots they've faced, though, don't it?
So, shots he faced. So you've said that.
Oh, we've got that as well.
So Bazunu has faced 133 shots on target, in which he's made 82 saves, 51 conceded, 10 clean sheets. So you've got Hermison at Leicester. I'll stop saying the teams now. You can go back. So 101 saves, 136 shots faced, 35 conceded. So the goalkeeper that's conceded the least, which is Melier from Leeds, so he's conceded 28. He's faced 97 shots. Only keeper in the league to face less than 100 shots. 17 clean sheets.
Smug look on his face, mate.
71 saves he's made. So he doesn't have to make many saves, but obviously
he's smug enough. Stop.
So Hidaki, 99 saves, 144 shots faced, 13 clean sheets, 51 conceded. So quite similar to Southampton. So Ipswich and Southampton goalkeepers, few more shots for Ipswich, but same goals conceded. O'Leary, 161 shots faced, 117 saves, 10 clean sheets, 45 conceded, which isn't too bad.
Jesus, after 161?
Yeah. So John Ruddy, Birmingham, 185 shots faced, 58 conceded, 129 saves, 8 clean sheets. And then Victor Johansson, 249 shots faced, 167 saves, 4 clean sheets, and 82 goals conceded. But when you face nearly 250 shots, it's not surprising that 82 of them have gone in and you're bottom of the league. But that's got a lot to say with the players in front of him.
Yeah, but his percentage is still up there with everybody else.
So we've done all that. So that's the whole thing. So what I did was I took all them stats and I worked out the clean sheet games, how much they've had to make saves in the games where they've kept a clean sheet, and then their save percentages on games.
I wish you'd done this with the Premier League and the top 4.
I haven't done the top 4, but I do have Raya's stats.
Oh, I can't wait for
that. So I'm going to go in reverse order where I started. So Max O'Leary, with his 10 clean sheets, 24 shots he's faced in them 10 games. 3 of them games were a shutout where he didn't have to face a shot. So his save percentage then worked out at 67.9%, which for him was a big drop from 75. So that's probably why Bristol City are where they're at. So Ipswich, which is a good one. So 13 clean sheets. He's faced 31 shots. So he faced a lot more shots. Only one game he had a shutout where no shots were faced on that one. So 12 games he's had to make a save. His save percentage is 60.2. So the games where he's actually kept a clean sheet, he's had a big impact because he's lost 6% on his save ratio. Leicester, so what were they at? 12 clean sheets, 29 shots faced. So that's a hell of a lot of, about 2 per game, isn't it? Just over 2. His save percentage again dropped from 74.3 to 67.3. So again, he's had big impact where he's had to make some good saves. I think there was a game where he had to save 9 shots in a game. I think it was against Sunderland.
Wow.
So, and I mean, I've got all that in there where the number of shots that they've actually faced during the game.
Jesus Christ, you've gone into some detail there, haven't you?
Yeah, I spent a good hour and a half, 2 hours today working out all this.
You know what? This is where you literally go, I have no life. I'm just going to do stats.
Yeah, I'm a stat man. So I'll go to John Ruddy next. So 8 clean sheets, 16 shots he's faced, which is 2 games. He's had 2 shutouts, 63.1%. So he's had a drop of 5% there. Melier. So here we go. 72.2% was his original one. So he's had 17 clean sheets, so 32 shots he's faced in them games, which then, the games where he has conceded, his save percentage went up to 75.4. So even though Leeds are conceded, it was obviously in a game where they're facing more shots, and he had a bigger impact. And he is he is the only goalkeeper on the list whose save percentage went up for the games where he's conceded. So he actually saved more in games that he conceded than he did on the clean sheets, which I thought was quite interesting.
That is pretty interesting, actually.
And this is where I go for Gavin Bazunu now. So 10 clean sheets.
Batters his own player.
Yeah, 10 clean sheets, 21 shots faced.
Right.
So his save percentage goes from his miserable 63.2, which is the one of the lowest. I think it's the second lowest save percentage in the Championship. And on the games where Gavin Bazunu concedes, his save percentage goes down to 54.5%. So pretty much he only saves half the shots in a game that we concede. And for me, that is why we're not. And they nailed it on the head. We played Ipswich the other day. We were cruising that game. We should have won it. We conceded early. Great finish on that one. He's not saving that. We were 2-1 up. We're controlling the game. We should score more goals, which is a separate issue anyway. We're not ruthless.
Yeah.
Leeds played poor against Hull, I think it was, and they won 3-1. They're just ruthless. They win the games.
He was smug enough without that.
We weren't ruthless on against Coventry, though.
No.
I mean, to be fair, when we started our comeback, their keeper pulled off an absolute class save right at the end to keep him in it. So
yeah. So that's where I look at it and I go, seriously, I'm all for now. I don't think Joe Lumley's the answer, but I've certainly given him a chance because we're not going top 2. We're in the playoffs. I don't think we'll drop out the playoffs. I don't think, fingers crossed.
I don't think any professional keeper is going to be much worse.
But I'd quite like to see Joe Lumley see what he's got for a few games.
I keep thinking of absolutely fabulous every time he says that, honestly.
Thing is, that's what we did last season. Meslier's head had gone down, and then Sam Allardyce dropped him, and Robles had, okay, we still lost all the games, but he actually had good, he looked good. I was actually good to see him go, because he actually did a really good job for the back part of the season.
But no, he can't lost, because Meslier is brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
So, Raya obviously keeps a lot of clean sheets. So
Arsenal's defence keeps a lot of clean sheets. So
he's kept 12 clean sheets.
Yeah.
In 12 games, he's only faced 13 shots in 12 games. He's had 4 shutout games.
Where he hasn't
Bazunu's never had a shutout game. He's always had to face a shot in a game. He was the only one that...
4 where he's not faced a shot.
4 not faced a shot. So his save percentage is 55.8. I think it was 60. I think it was 64. But unfortunately, 55.8 is better than Gavin Bazunu's 54.5, which means that Gavin Bazunu is worse than David Raya. So you can stop moaning. We've got a worse keeper.
Possibly. But do you know who you didn't have on there? Ramsdale from last season. That'd be interesting. Compare Ramsdale's last season to Raya's this season. That would be really interesting. So if you get bored next week,
find out. But it's about some stuff. So where do I think? So Gavin Bazunu is a player that's played. He's the only player that's played every game for us in the Championship. He can drop Kyle Walker-Peters, who's been arguably one of the best right backs in the league, and drops him because he made a mistake and Middlesbrough scored an equaliser in the last minute. But he's okay dropping players, but obviously not a goalkeeper, which is obviously Arteta's got that issue with Raya.
It's very, very, very hard to argue with someone that's got that much information written down and that many. You can't really
probably more information than the fucking Saints fucking goalkeeper coach has got.
Well, he's definitely got more information than the Arsenal goalkeeper coach has got for a start. 50% from Premier League goalkeeper.
So we argue the fact that there's a lot of stuff on X going, Bazunu, it's Stevens' fault and stuff like that. I'm going to lay off Stevens. I don't think he's good enough, but it's not quite.
You've made that pretty clear.
But
really, I'd never noticed.
But he's playing in the team, and there are games where he's not facing many shots anyway, so he is in a back 4. Bazunu hasn't got to do that much. He's just got to do something when he actually does have to face a shot.
What was David Raya's save percentage?
What after? After was 55 I'll write it down in a minute when we've got it. But for me, they say that Jack Stevens come back, our winless run ended, and they're blaming him because we went on. But I'm sorry,
to be fair, you got hammered.
We lost games when Stevens was out. Before we started our winless run, we still win games when he's in the team. So can't put all the blame on him. But
what's the percentage? You got it.
55.8.
0.8, right. That's what this week's going to be called. David Raya's save percentage is shocking.
Yeah. So, next topic.
I tell you what, I'm swapping for Meslier, though. Jesus, some of this stats, he's cracking, isn't he?
Mate, he's won us games.
Jesus.
He's literally won us games.
I would take him right now. Well, I mean, obviously, I want Ramsdale in that, but I know Arteta's just not playing.
I think I missed one. I didn't go on about Johansson. I think I skipped. Because I don't remember saying his 4 clean sheets. So I will go with Victor. So Victor Johansson has probably got a release clause in his relegation. Rotherham keeper.
Yeah, he's class.
Now, I look at it and go, do you want this guy? So they kept 4 clean sheets. Faced 20 shots
in 4 games.
them 4 games.
He's absolutely class.
Now, his save percentage went down to 64.2 because he had to make 147 saves out of the 229 shots that he faced.
Are you going to criticise a keeper that's faced 230 shots, though, really?
Mate, he looks
I mean,
cracking.
that is a lot.
So I do apologise that I nearly forgot about him because I skipped him because I thought that
he will not be at Rotherham long.
I assure you, Johansson is not going to listen to this podcast, so
he will not be at Rotherham
long. Fans. They might be there.
Maybe.
They might be out there.
I was going to say there's absolutely no chance that they'd listen to this, but if you'd have asked me six months ago, I would have told you there's absolutely no way 100 people would subscribe to this.
Yeah.
But absolutely next season, I would sign him.
For Southampton?
Yes.
Maybe some of you want to write them a letter about them.
Yeah, just say, look, make it happen.
Yeah, sign Janssen, because Bazooma's shit.
Next season, we need a new keeper.
Are we on 10?
27.
Oh, we do. Right, what I'll do then is I'll quickly run through the amazing prediction game before we go into the break, as we've got a little bit of time. The scores this week were phenomenal.
Not for me.
Phenomenal. Right, so, yeah, I see you peaking.
I think I'm losing now.
I
think he's had a good week from my reckoning.
Not as good as that.
Blackburn v Saints was our first prediction. Right, now, not surprisingly, Darryl did go for a Blackburn win for 2-1.
Of course he did.
Obviously, he's a Blackburn fan, and I admire it. But I was the only one that went for a draw, albeit I got the score wrong because I said 2-2 and it was 0-0.
It'd still be 0-0 now if we were playing.
Yeah, probably would. You said Saints, Jay said Saints, and Max said Saints. I said I was the only one with a point. That's about as good as this week gets. Coventry Leeds was Coventry 2, Leeds 1.
Somebody went 2-1.
I went 2-2, didn't I? Was it 1-1?
I went 1-1. Tim went 1-1. Yeah. You went 1-0 Leeds. Darryl went 3-1 Leeds. Jay went 1-1. And Max went 3-0 Leeds. Nobody scored a point.
Oh,
so
did you mention 2-1 Coventry and then changed it to? That's what I thought. He's got it right.
I've changed my mind 3 times.
No, because I made a note saying
what I mean is,
you really think you really thought it was going to be Coventry 2, Leeds 1, but you couldn't bring yourself to say
I thought so.
But 3 times during these podcasts, 3 times I've got the score right and then changed it.
And what did I say to you last week? Just go with your initial.
I know,
and you didn't. And you know what? You'd have been buzzing because you said Arsenal 3, Brighton 0, and that's what it was. So you got 3 points. You could have had 6 points this week and absolutely battered everybody else.
Yeah, I had a feeling that you got that one right as well.
Because I said Arsenal 4-0, you said Arsenal 2-1, Darryl said 4-0 Arsenal, Jay said 2-1 Brighton just to fucking fuck with me. So you could have a go at me over the phone when we're driving. And Max said 2-1 Arsenal. So basically, apart from Jay, we all got a point. You got 3. So that means the totals are: I got 2, Tim got 3, you got 1, Darryl got 1, Jay wasn't scoring all week, Max only got 1. That was a pathetic week for all of us. It was shocking.
No, it's really bad. He's right on me now.
Tim has now hit 1 right on the nose. So I got 2. Tim got 3.
And I didn't get screwed over in the last 10 minutes.
You got 1, didn't you, Jim? Yeah. Darryl 1, Jay none. So 1, none, 1. So Jay's still on 30. Tin Ribs was next. He's now gone on to 35. Jim, 35. Max, 35. We've got a 3-way tie, although it isn't. It actually goes Max, Jim, and then you, because you've only got 1 spot on.
I know.
And as we know, this moaning fucker here. Darryl goes up to 44, and me and my 2 points, I go up to 44. But I've had more spot on, I think, than Darryl. We'll have to double check that, because Darryl possibly has had more on the nose than I have. But I think Darryl sort of steadily got the single points. So as it stands, I think technically I'm first and Darryl's second, but only because of more results on the nose. So we're doing all right. So very quickly, let's do next week's, which I've already written down, so you don't have to search for. Leeds Blackburn.
2-0 Leeds.
2-0 Leeds. Jim?
3-0 Leeds.
He had to, didn't he?
I'm actually going to go for 2-2. There's your customary 3-0. I'm just going to put Darrell in for like a 4-0 Blackburn. So I reckon he's going to take the piss with it. Saints Watford. Saints Watford.
1-1.
1-1. I'm actually with 10 on that. 1-1.
Now I'm going 2-2.
2-2. So we all think draw. Okay, I can live with that. Arsenal Villa. I personally, I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. Tim.
Come back to me.
Jim.
2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. Penrith.
This point in the season, will Arsenal bottle it?
Always planning on the old Arsenal becoming Spursy.
I'm just thinking. Now that they're in the driver's seat.
What's your initial thought?
No.
What's your initial thought?
2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Well, we're going to go with that because you normally change it and get it wrong. If you're right this week, however, I'm going to be very upset.
Because you made them do it. And Arsenal have lost. So why are you being annoyed?
Yeah, especially
like
as,
double of
we've literally, I would like to point out very quickly before we go to the break that we have just watched the Man United Liverpool game, which was an absolute dog mess of a game and finished 2-2. And both teams deserve to lose it, if you ask me, because they were both shy.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to go for a quick break and we shall see you very soon. Hello, welcome back from the break. Had quite a short break today.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to get into your two Wales teams.
Yeah.
Because I've been too busy trying to sort out new equipment for us, which hasn't actually worked out for this week. But I'm hoping that it will work out for next week. And I'm hoping, because from the tests I've done so far, it is actually going to start improving the sound for us quite drastically as well. So it will be a good thing. But I have only just started toying with it over the last couple of days. I've only just got around to it. So I haven't done a Wales team, although I imagine mine and yours would be quite similar, although mine and yours probably wouldn't. I don't know.
I think mine and yours would actually differ because so a few places I sort of been a little bit biased, and then one place I was just like, I've got a fucking clue.
Yeah, I'd struggle with one position at least. Right, okay, so Jim Jam, let's go with yours.
So started off with Neville Southall in goal.
I think everybody on the planet would do that. If you've got any sense.
So
Quality keeper.
Right back, I went with Chris Gunter.
Most capped Welsh player, is he?
Second.
Second, I knew he was up there.
He's up there.
I won't lie, I know nothing about him.
Good player, to be fair.
Gareth Bale was the most capped player, but it was Chris Gunter at one point. So my left back, I've gone with Ben Davies from Tottenham.
Okay.
I quite like him as a player anyway.
Yeah, you're not winning
He just
anything
doesn't
with
win
Spurs
stuff
in the team,
because
but,
he's
yeah.
plays for Tottenham. Centre backs was a bit tougher, so Ashley Williams went in first anyway. I think he played a key part of going in there. And then I was stuck between two players then. The one that didn't make it was Chris Coleman, and I went with James Collins instead.
Okay.
I preferred his career outside.
Would you like me to do my defensive lineup now?
Go on then.
Okay, so obviously Neville Southall. Okay, left back was the same, Ben Davies. I did toy with Bale because he did play under John Toshak at left back, but I moved him for another reason. My right back, I won't lie, I've never heard of Gunter. I don't recall him.
Gunter all day long.
So I kind of just went with Conor Roberts because he's the right back, I know. And to be fair, when I was looking at his stats for Wales, he's actually been quite, actually one of their better right backs statistically. So I thought, why not? Centre back Ashley Williams, can't really argue with that. I would
agree.
I'm actually going to go with the word underrated on Ashley Williams. I genuinely think he's when you look at his career and where he's been and where he probably should have gone, he didn't. I think he probably undersold himself a little bit. Now, obviously, this was a tricky part. I'm going to tell you who I went with, but before I do, there's a player who I've put up front. And the reason being, until Gareth Bale came along, this guy was considered the best Welsh player of all time. He was also a Leeds player and was considered one of the best players in English football at the time. So I'm going to keep his name closed for a moment, but I left him out and I put my one of my favourites, Vinnie Jones in at centre back.
Who's a midfielder?
No.
I thought he was a midfielder.
No.
I thought it was a CM.
No, he played different centre back. 5 times.
See, my centre mid would have been Ramsey and Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, no, he played centre back 5 times for Wales.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go with midfield then. So for me, again, slight bias. I went Gary Speed, who I think is probably one of the best players to ever wear a Leeds shirt. I went with Ramsey because can't deny, for Wales, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Had he not had those injuries, how good?
Arsenal, he was.
Yeah, but what I mean is, had he not had the injuries,
yeah,
how good could he have been? Same with Wilshere. You know, you look at these two players that Arsenal had in their academy, and they're both phenomenal. But how good would they have been if they weren't hampered by massive injuries? Left wing, self-explanatory, Ryan Giggs. And then, because he has played on the right wing, and again, I need to get him in, I'll put Bale.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so my midfield, so
mine would have been the same.
I went Ryan Giggs on the left.
Jones and Ramsey middle.
I went Ryan Giggs on the left. Obviously. For similar reasons, I could have gone Gareth Bale at left back because he played there for Southampton and can play that role. But I quite like Ben Davies, and I wanted him in. I could have put him centre back, but so I threw him on the right.
Bale on the right.
Because there was 2 strikers that I wanted to put in rather than put Gareth Bale up front. The only other player that I may have put at right mid, although he plays striker for Wales at the moment, is Brennan Johnson. I think he's doing quite well.
I like Brennan Johnson.
Yeah,
Bellamy, I did toy with. He didn't make my side, but he was one to consider. And then in the centre, I went Aaron Ramsey. And then I really struggled with a partner for him. No, I didn't even think about him being Welsh.
Wow. I'd have had Jones.
I did not, and I probably would put Vinnie Jones in now.
Yeah.
So Vinnie Jones is in now.
Now you
because he's Welsh. Robbie Savage, I nearly went with just for shits and giggles, and the Mac link.
The Mac thing, yeah.
But I went with Joe Allen.
Okay.
And like I said, I struggled with him. I was like Joe Ledley, but Vinnie Jones now. I just didn't think about him being Welsh.
Right. Well, your forward line then, because I can see your forward line, and one of mine would be the same as yours, but the other one definitely wouldn't.
So I'm going to go with the one that definitely wouldn't. Ian Rush.
He would.
He would?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He would.
I just thought because he was Liverpool, he would be the wouldn't.
But I tell you now that, like, my other striker, I'd have gone Ian Rush and I'd have gone Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
They'd have been my strikers.
Now, I went with the player that scored a similar number of goals, and his career outside of Wales as well was better than Mark Hughes.
That's a hell of a career.
And the player I want put up front with Ian Rush was John Hartson. His goal game ratio was slightly better than...
I would go Mark Hughes all day long over
and I could have had a Southampton link with Mark Hughes as well, but he only scored 2 goals for Southampton.
Okay, so let's get Mark Hughes out there. We already know from last week's conversation that Mark Hughes was going to go in.
Yeah.
Now, this guy is a Leeds legend. And when I say a Leeds legend, like literally, he is one of the biggest players to ever play for Leeds.
Right.
He played in the 50s.
4'2".
No, this guy's massive.
Is this the Charles?
Yeah, John Charles. Started as a centre-back, moved up to forward, played for Juventus, came back to Leeds. The guy is a goal machine. He was that big that if you look at photos of him with the Leeds team, he looks like a man playing with children. And John Charles was...
If I looked at stats... If I looked at stats...
I think that needs reworded.
If I looked at stats, John Charles would have gone in. But as you know full well, with every team that we do, I pretty much always go with players that I've watched.
You've seen,
yeah.
So yeah, but that's fair enough. That's why it's all about opinions, isn't it?
So obviously, for me, they're all players that I've seen, apart from Charles. And obviously, I know Charles' legacy, and I've watched the highlight reels and all that. But I know who he is. He's a Leeds legend, and the fact that at the time he was probably the best player on the planet. I think he was actually nominated for like 3 or 4 Ballon d'Ors.
Did he win them?
No.
So he wasn't the best player on the planet.
I read a lot about him when doing this, but I'd never heard of him before this.
I'd never heard of him before this, to be honest.
It's one of those players that just disappeared.
But in saying that, the Ballon d'Or isn't necessarily going to the best player in the world anyway, because didn't Nedved win it one year and he wasn't that great, and Thierry Henry came second and he scored like 40 odd goals.
And then you had the year where Neuer won the World Cup, the Champions League, the Bundesliga.
Oh, when he was clearly the best player on the planet, you mean?
And he didn't win it. He came third.
Yeah, and he was outstanding, would be doing him a disservice.
I like the best keeper on the planet at the time, hands down. So
that's why Messi's got so many Ballon d'Ors, because he robbed most of them off another player.
Yeah, but he's just got a lot of fans, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So when the people voting are your fan, then they're going to go for you.
Yeah, there was that year where
this is like these teams that we're coming up with. You've gone for players. You've gone for players in the Welsh team because they play for Leeds. Yeah. So your vote goes for Leeds. So people are going to vote Messi just because they like Messi. Yeah. And I don't think it's because he's the best player on the planet. Yeah. There's years where he has been. Don't get me wrong. There's years where he's been absolutely unplayable and deserves the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, there was that one year when he actually won it, and Xavi was also up there for like the award. And when he went up, he said, "This shouldn't be for me because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Iniesta and Xavi." And he actually, fair play to him. He actually humbly said, "I don't know why I'm winning this. It's because of those two I'm here."
Yeah,
because he did say the best way to stop Messi was to cut his feed off with Iniesta and Xavi.
Absolutely, and pretty accurate as well, to be fair. Because them two were just outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. But yeah, I'd not heard of Charles before we started doing this, so you've opened our eyes a little bit.
Do look him up. You'll love him. Literally, we're talking about a centre-back who became a striker.
Yeah, it's not worth going, is it?
Not at all.
But like David James tried that, didn't he? He was awesome when he went up front. 3 air shots and dispossessed 12 times, and I think he had a full solid 7 minutes up front.
Sometimes I do like doing these little challenges, about the harder ones, because you do look at some older players, but I always bring myself back to I always want to pick players that I've seen in my era.
Yeah, but that makes a lot of sense, though, doesn't it? Because the players that you haven't seen, you will only see the highlights of. Yet there's players that our teams will sign now, and all we've got to look at is highlight reels. And we look at them and go, God, this player's outstanding. And then he gets to you and he's shy. I'm not going to name anyone, but Mudryk springs to mind. Obviously, I'm not going to put any names out there, but, highlight reels can be deceiving.
You ever watched the TV series Mike Bassett? Not the movie, the series that followed it. No. There's actually a really good moment, and if it's sort of like he's trying to keep his hometown team running, and it's hilarious. And he basically gets put down with an agent and sat there watching, so he puts this highlight on, and this goalkeeper's getting murdered. Like the striker's lobbing him, then the striker cuts through the defence, slots in the bottom corner, keeper's got no chance. This is like the best strike you've ever seen. And Mike Bassett, fucking hell, he's good. Oh, look at he's good. Yeah, we'll have him. And he ends up having to pay for him out of his own pocket because the club's that poor. But this striker off the highlight reel is just phenomenal. Banging him in left, right, and centre, headers, volleys, the works. So they're losing this game. They need points. So he gets this lad up and he barely speaks any English. He's on the bench. He goes, right, we need to go on there and do what you do best. So this lad runs up front, looks a bit like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Runs up front, stands there, ball comes in, fucking jumps up and catches it, doesn't he? Right, Bassett goes, oh, bloody hell, we only went and signed the bloody keeper.
Jesus Christ.
He thinks he's signing the striker. He's signing the goalkeeper.
That's a bit messed up, isn't it? It's a bit like putting you up on those. So have we anything else that we want to touch on this week?
Any games? We haven't talked about any games, really.
We haven't, and we've had some really soft. I think, who was it? Was it Anthony Gordon that got sent off for kicking the ball away because he'd already been booked?
Yeah, I think it was.
What a stupid thing to do that was. You're now going to miss your next game. And every game at this stage of the season is important. You're not going to miss a game just because you decide to kick the ball away.
He can't afford to miss games.
No, because he's trying to get into the England squad.
That's what I mean. And it's a strong forward position.
Very.
To get in's tough.
That would be enough for me to go, I'm not taking him, because I can't risk that. I don't want another David Beckham or Wayne Rooney episode.
Yeah.
Albeit I don't blame Beckham, and I do blame Rooney, because he fell for Ronaldo being a bell end.
Yeah.
But I would look at that and go, I can't take Gordon. But if we're in a semi-final, we're 1-1, and then he does something stupid like that, and we get beat, you just wouldn't want to rely on him, would you?
No.
Petty shit like that can make a massive difference. And honestly, if he gets left out of the squad, I won't be disappointed because I don't want that childish sort of behaviour over there. I mean, all we're going to do is go 1-up against teams and go to a flat back 11 anyway because it's Gareth Southgate. But
yeah,
at least you want to look.
There was that great meme. Was it Football Funnies or Paddy Power put something up and it's like, on his current form, who's going to stop Phil Foden? It's just a picture of Southgate.
That's right, though, isn't it? Because we don't attack enough. Like, look at that Brazil game. I know it was a friendly, but Jesus Christ, can we not attack?
That's 95
We've got the
minutes.
best attack in Europe.
That's 95 minutes of my life. I'm never getting back.
Oh,
I'm glad I watched no minutes of it, and I should care more.
Yeah, we should. We should want to watch international.
But I don't. But and the best thing about that game and the lineup should have been some of the dead cert players like Saka and Kane
were out.
So it was a chance for players to prove themselves to go.
But instead,
Hi, Gareth, I'm here. You're not going to pick me anyway because you got your favourites, but
that's probably why Rashford was just walking around like he didn't fucking give a shit.
Yeah, but he was one of them. He was one of them that was getting picked all the time. So was Sterling.
Yeah.
Like during that the last World Cup we had, Sterling was fucking awful, but he played every minute. Every minute.
Yeah.
Rashford was actually really
good. And yet
good.
somehow he got into the fucking team of the tournament.
I don't know how he was
garbage. He scored a few goals. But that's enough of England.
Getting back to City, he sets the world on fire again.
Yeah.
Goes to Chelsea, starts off a bit England-like, but then starts scoring, starts assisting, belting towards the defender. Sterling, when he's on form and he's firing towards the defender, that's a frightening fucking thought. I wouldn't want to take him on one-on-one. Very skillful, very fast, very good at what he does. So why doesn't he do it all the time?
All I know about the international breaks is it's a fucking momentum killer.
And they're boring.
Yeah, exactly. It just kills the momentum of the league.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Just stick the internationals all in one
Although
run.
I would like to point out that in 2024, Arsenal have won every game they've played bar one, which they drew against City.
Yeah, we were like
I'm
that
on about
until
Premier League. I'm not on about getting beat by
but we were like that until we got beat by Coventry.
Yeah, it's not great. I'm glad we didn't get beat by City. It was a boring game. And
we've been absolutely dire. We've been dreadful since the international break, which is what happened last time. We were really good. We got that form on. We were catching back up. We were catching up from the bottom half of the league to the playoff area. We have a fucking international break.
That's because 80% of his team's Welsh. They go off, get used to losing. They come back and they're like, "What's this winning? Not malarkey that we've been doing." I'll be doing that.
Case about it is that Leicester won. They put themselves back in pole position. Yeah. They've got the game in hand, which is probably an easy game for them at the moment.
Fucking is the way you're playing.
And Ipswich lost as well, which you were probably buzzing before kickoff. You thought, yes. But I knew you were a bit nervous.
I know. I was already very dubious about Cov.
I would like to put a very quick special mention out. Congratulations to Mac on getting to the semi-final of the FA Trophy, albeit they conceded within the first 5 minutes, then conceded again shortly afterwards. They did pull a goal back, make it 2-1.
I'd say 2-1's a respectable score. When you think
it's not bad.
But when you think that Gateshead are top 3 in their so they're third in their division, which is two divisions higher. That's
it's a good result.
It's a decent showing. But it's very upsetting.
I think we're more gutted the fact that we're not going to
not going Wembley.
Yeah.
We were really excited about going Wembley and now it's gone. But I am proud of the team and where they got to though. So shout out to Mac for getting to the semi-final of the FA Trophy. You did well.
But
you did us proud.
Got playoffs to
and now we've got the playoffs to look forward to, hopefully.
It's close up there.
There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee, but I genuinely think we're on a bit of a roll. I think we're doing quite well. We've got your favourite saying, 2 games in hand. And I know you're a massive fan of games in hand.
I tell you what, games in hand are okay because you're in third games in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to catch second anyway.
No, we just need to stay above fifth and sixth, really.
Radcliffe have pretty much summed up the league now anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's all position. It's like Leicester, the top of the league, they've got a game in hand. So they lose, they still...
Yeah, they're still not that bad, are they? I would like to say, as far as topping the league off goes, seen Bayern Munich and Leverkusen?
Yeah. Bayern have lost to a team that I'd never heard of before.
Yeah. I'd never heard of them until I realised that we Bayern 3-2. So, yeah, we would like to point out that Leverkusen have won the league because although, strictly speaking, they need another win, they are not going to lose every game between now and the end of the season. And Bayern Munich clearly are not going to win every game between now and the end of the season. So Leverkusen are champions.
Yeah.
They have Kane has finally put an end to the Bayern Munich dominance. Well done, Kane. And Dyer, stick with your name. Good lad.
He's going back to Tottenham next year.
I've heard that Kane might be going back to Tottenham next year.
He really doesn't want Tottenham to win any trophies.
Well, it's not like they threatened it this year, is it?
No.
They haven't exactly threatened. So it's not like they got to a final and lost and Kane's like, oh, I can't be having that. I'll have to go back and screw him over.
Perhaps he should go Man City.
He
probably wouldn't win a trophy.
On Celtic on like a 10 in a row streak or something stupid. Like maybe you could go Celtic and help them lose.
I mean, Celtic at the moment are top of the league at the moment. They drew with Rangers today 3-3. Rangers last minute goal. Come on, Rangers, just do it. I really
not a big fan of Celtic, man.
I just like Rangers. I don't dislike Celtic. I just like Rangers.
Do you like Rangers because of Ali McCoist?
Ali McCoist and Paul Gascoigne.
I'll see, mine was Ali McCoist and Andy Gorham.
Yeah.
I used to love them too when I was younger.
No, it's
more Andy Gorham because I was a keeper as a youth.
More Gaza.
Yeah.
On the pitch.
Absolutely.
Off the pitch. He's off the pitch shenanigans, especially when Ali McCoist tells the stories, are fantastic.
Yeah, I do like this.
Woke up at 3 a.m, goes downstairs, and Gaza's just in his fridge making a sandwich.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Well, just making a sandwich. Like, it's normal. I just broke into your house to make a sandwich. I didn't have anything in.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? We'd all love to have mates like that.
So let's go for a few results that I thought of. So Man United were winning in midweek going into the 98th minute, was it? 3-2 against Chelsea. And by the 99th minute, they lost 4-3.
Yeah, did you see Goldbridge's reaction to that?
Yes, I did. It's brilliant.
Wasn't very happy, was he?
He wasn't happy.
Wasn't very happy. Maybe we need to kick off a bit more on here because he gets loads of views just for being childish.
Yeah,
maybe we should do that. Start screaming and crying and throwing chairs around and stuff.
But that's one of them where Chelsea, they're just like
shite.
They're shite. They only had one game that they had to win, and they couldn't even do that.
Well, they had 2 penalties during that game, didn't they? So it's not like they completely battered United. It was pretty much handed to them by United.
I mean, Cole Palmer is fantastic, though. He's up there with the signing of the season at the moment.
Got to be absolutely.
Obviously, you've got Declan Rice.
I can't believe City let him go
because he doesn't get in their midfield.
Yeah,
but he should.
He would have done this year because De Bruyne got injured for so long, so he would have played a lot more at Man City if he stayed.
But it's only because De Bruyne got injured.
Yeah. Otherwise, he wouldn't be there. Luton won. Finally got a result their way. Last minute goal against Bournemouth.
Aren't Forest playing now?
Forest are playing now.
They're losing.
1-0.
Tottenham are currently winning 1-0. There's no saying it's going to stay like that. There is Tottenham after all.
No, sorry. 1-0.
Is it actually? Is it actually 1-0?
Sheffield United is 1-0 with Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Tottenham are 1-0 Forest.
I'm sorry, just run that first one by me again.
Forest.
The first one.
Oh. Sheffield United.
The whipping boys.
Yeah, are 1-0 with Chelsea.
Are 1-0 with Chelsea.
Chelsea went 1-0 up.
Not through a penalty, was it?
No.
Fucking makes a change.
Silver. And now Forest have equalised against Tottenham.
Literally, just as I said, Spursy.
So there you go.
So what other games have we got? Everton, they won. That was a big game for them against Burnley.
They scraped a 1-0 win against a team that had gone down to 10 men.
Again.
Yeah. And even that wasn't a foregone conclusion because Burnley had attacks afterwards where they potentially should have scored.
Mm-hmm.
Everton, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to anyone that supports Everton, but god damn, they are a poor football side. They are so poor.
They're
Maybe
a
it's 'cause
team
they've
that
got school
are just
girls.
fighting relegation. I'm
Literally
sorry.
fighting, yeah.
And they're financially screwed, and all they've got is they're getting a new ground next year. And
the
as
best
we
ground in
know,
the
there's a
championship.
lot of teams that get a new ground, they go down, they
Well, look
hit
at Arsenal.
administration and stuff
I mean,
like that.
we didn't hit administration, but Arsenal, when we built our ground in 2006, we didn't win another trophy for, what, 9 years?
Yeah.
We really struggled. Really struggled. Years and years and years after
atmosphere.
that. You lose atmosphere, you lose familiarity, you know, your players lose all that. They lose the feeling of being at home. It's like an away game every day for the first few years, isn't it? Until you get there and you get used to it. And
because the away fans want to go to the new stadium.
Yes,
and
so
I've
they
been
make
to
a
the
better
new
atmosphere.
stadiums. And they're not better. They're not a better stadium.
I mean,
there's less atmosphere.
I get why Arsenal needed to move, because we had 37,000 seat stadium that we couldn't make any bigger because it's surrounded by properties. And I get that they needed to move. I mean, if you've been to Highbury in the Emirates,
I never went Highbury.
Right.
If you come off the tube,
I've never been in them, but I've walked past them. Does that make sense?
yeah. So if you come off the tube at Arsenal,
yeah,
and you stand with the houses in front of you, you can see Highbury there and the Emirates there. They're literally that close to each other. And you either go left 300 metres and get to the front of Highbury, or you go right 300 metres over a bridge and you're at the Emirates. It's literally that close. But the room on the right was massive. And the room on the left, there was just houses.
See, the one team that I don't get,
Highbury
which when they rename a stadium, etc., and they say it's a new stadium, was Tottenham. They literally built their ground on top of the other one. They basically upgraded White Hart Lane. They could have just said, it's still White Hart Lane, we're just upgrading it.
The thing I've got with Tottenham and their stadium, it's not like they've changed their name like Macclesfield. They changed their name from the Moss Rose to the leasing.com stadium.
And the fans
for sponsorship reasons. The fans will always call it the Moss Rose. But we know it's the leasing.com. When it's on telly, it says the leasing.com. So it's advertised in the leasing.com. Right? So I get why we've done it for financial reasons, to help the club financially, to stabilise us, to make sure we're not going into debt, to make sure that Rob Smethurst doesn't do what Al-Qaeda did and drag us down into administration and that. So everybody accepts it. Why have Tottenham changed the name? Because that can't be sponsorship. Are they sponsoring themselves? I mean, Real Madrid have done it, haven't they? Haven't they had realmadrid.com on their shirts at some point or another in the past? They haven't even got a sponsor
yet. Have they just the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium
So just call it White Hart Lane then, surely. Make something about it familiar.
Because they've not moved.
They've not moved. To be fair, they've not moved
halfway, haven't they? They've moved like halfway because
they've moved to the halfway line.
Yeah, I think that's all.
They edged it up a little bit, didn't they? Just to give them more room on the one side. They edged the stadium over about 50 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah. For me, they all say, "Oh, I'm going to miss White Hart Lane and stuff like that." It's like you're not, because you've not moved.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've basically just knocked it down and rebuilt it.
Pretty much, which is what Old Trafford needs, really.
Yeah. A lot of clubs.
That is.
Would they rename it New Trafford?
I suppose Millwall did, didn't they? They called theirs the New Down.
Yeah.
I mean, the place.
I'd be okay with that.
It's actually in a place called Old Trafford, which is why it's called Old Trafford. It's named after the place it's in, because Old Trafford is literally because they're not.
So that's why the cricket ground's called Old Trafford.
Yeah, because it's in Old Trafford. Because you've got Old Trafford, where the stadium is. You cross over a bridge and you hit Salford. Yeah. And it's literally that close to each other.
No, right. I didn't know that.
But no, it's actually called Old Trafford. That's why you got Old Trafford Cricket Ground and Old Trafford Football Ground. So technically, they couldn't really call it.
I know. I was being facetious.
Makes a change, doesn't it? Makes a change from that smug look he had earlier when you go through them stats.
Yeah.
For his goalkeeper.
Class.
But yeah, so I think Old Trafford needs a remodel because that's a bit knackered. I think Anfield needs, I don't know, removing from the face of the earth.
Because pretty much that's what they're doing. They're just knocking down and rebuilding, aren't they?
Old Trafford?
No, Anfield.
Yeah,
they're just getting bigger and
Old
bigger.
Trafford are not, because Old Trafford, right? What's his name? Radcliffe? Is it Sir Radcliffe or something? He is one of the richest men around, and he's decided that the taxpayers should rebuild Old Trafford.
Of course.
What an absolute bell end.
Because I want my fucking tax money going to those mank pricks.
Who is going to vote for that? You've probably got 200,000 United fans all living in the centre of London that would vote for that. They're never going to go to the stadium anyway, but they'd vote for it being rebuilt just so they can see pictures of it and go, oh, that's our stadium, mate.
Guess what? I've just remembered. I've got another rant.
Cool.
So,
what are we on to?
During the Ipswich game, it was announced that Jason Wilcox was resigning from Southampton as director of football because Man United have decided that they want a new background team. So, obviously, Wilcox has been approached by Man United, and they've said they put an offer into Southampton, pay what's alleged to be a year's salary, and they believe they've been fair and just in the approach that they've had towards Wilcox. Which timing sucks. Is it fair? Who knows? But anybody can go after anybody. All you've got to do is put in the news, we want this player, and then a player gets upset. It's the same as background staff, isn't it? Man United come calling. He's going to go. He's never played for Southampton. He's got no allegiance with Southampton. He's done a good job. He's changed the culture at the club, so that's great. Obviously, Newcastle's Dan Ashworth is one. He's on gardening leave from Newcastle because he's going.
Gardening leave. I can't think of anything more annoying.
Then you've got guy from Man City. He starts in the summer because obviously I don't think he can start straight away, which obviously Jason Wilcox, we got him from Man City, so he's part of that setup. Now for me, obviously Wilcox will be gone now. I'm guessing that his resignation is all through and he's left the club. Anyway, I don't know 100% if that's true. But for me, I'm not bothered that Jason Wilcox is going. I think it's just the timing. It's like, I don't think it would distract anything. I'm like, look, you're not going to be at Man United till the summer anyway. We're going to let you go to Man United. Just continue the job that you're doing here and do the best job you can to try get us to the Premier League, because that only stands him.
If he's not going to leave, or if he's not going to start his new job till the end of the season, then you're better off just keeping.
He's not going to start at Manchester United till next season, so
you're better off keeping it.
So you might as well. Why not wait till the end of the season before they make that move? So I do agree with where Southampton are coming from. Going, you've disrupted our promotion, because it will do. I mean, the players have done that long before,
I mean, calling it your promotion is a bit out there, isn't it? Because, I'm not sure if it is your promotion. I'll be honest.
It's what we wanted it to be.
Yeah, I get that, but that's a bit presumptuous, isn't it?
But
presumptuous.
Unfortunately, these things happen in football. Somebody else will come in. Hopefully, it's somebody with some good vision, and as is a director of football, goalkeeper. Starting point.
I think Jim may want a new goalkeeper at Saints.
Well, we give you that. Yeah.
Just a hunch. Just a hunch. I could be wrong.
You know when they say someone's hinting and you just can't pick up on it?
Yeah. Yeah, could be that, actually. Have you dropped a hint before now that you're not completely happy with Bazunu?
I'm not happy.
You realise you're turning into me, don't you? Bitching about Raya.
So
it's better than
what we're saying
Bazunu. Stats
by 2%.
Don't lie.
By 2%. And yes, stats do lie. We've been through this many times. It's not 2%.
It's just 1. It's even closer.
Oh, is he 54%?
Yeah.
Is he? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's only 1%. Raya is better.
Raya is 1% better than Bazunu, and you don't want Bazunu at a team that aren't even in the Premier League and probably won't be enough for you.
Don't have to whisper it. It's pretty much nailed on True.
The thing is, I'm sat next to someone that went, I want to win the league, but stay in the championship.
Yeah,
She's not exactly
on the other side, though.
disappointed anyway.
On the other side,
I've got to say, I
At
am not
least you're
going
gonna-
to be disappointed being in the championship next season.
Well, you're going to be a happy bunny then.
Yeah.
Because you know.
One thing I do want to say that's annoyed me a little bit, just before we finish, going on the whole, getting somewhere. Leeds under 18s reached the final of the Youth FA Cup against Man City's under 18s.
Okay.
Now they smashed us last year, so not. Anyway,
Have you played the final?
no, the final is
When is
played
it?
on
They've
the.
not announced it
Yes.
yet, have they? Have they just
You ready
announced
for this? This is stupid in my eyes. So not only is the Youth FA Cup final being currently done at what's Man City's training ground called?
Oh, I can't think of the
Next
name.
door
I know
to
what
the
you're on
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, they've got this the
No,
academy,
that's
the
the
academy
women's
facility.
stadium.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
they're
they
playing at
played
the-
there as well,
So they're playing at the
another.
academy facility. The FA Cup Youth Final is played at the home team's academy.
That
which I think-
shouldn't happen.
Yeah, so I think
Because
that's a
they
bit.
hadn't announced where it was being played.
Right, so first of all, that's bollocks.
That's a bit mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I just want to point out it's done on May the 4th. What's happening on May the 4th?
Star Wars Day. Oh, no, that's not what you're
That
on,
was
is it?
FA Trophy Day as well, wasn't it?
What else is happening on May the 4th?
Not bothered about FA Trophy now.
It's a pretty fucking big game going on at Ellen Road that day.
Is it our game?
It's our game. So they are playing the Youth FA Cup final on the same day that the final fixtures are played. And they're playing it in their cat.
Okay.
What is going on there? Why is it not?
May the 4th.
Why is it not being put into a...
Is that a weekend day?
It's
Is
a
it?
Saturday. So why... But my question is, right, and I get... Why is the Youth FA Cup... don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're going to sell out a 70,000 seater stadium. But if we want to highlight these things, we're highlighting the women's football to the point where they are now selling out stadiums. Because
And
it's been pushed.
they can assault men and get away with it.
Yeah, but it's been pushed. And they made a big thing of making the under-21s Euros a couple of years. Was it last year? They made a big thing. It was on TV. They made a big thing of it. Why are they literally going, the Youth FA Cup, don't worry about it, just play it in the academy place while all the other football's going on? What's going on there?
You took 10,000 to the semi-final.
I know, yeah.
10,000 fans turned up to
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant cans of garlic.
Yeah. No, 10,000 fans turned up to Ellen Road.
I think the
They
joke
played.
it was more than Millwall's lowest attendance of the season.
To be fair, though, it was a cracking game. Millwall's kids put on an absolute blinding effort. And I'll tell you now, everyone's banging on about how good Liverpool's youth are. We put Liverpool's youth out of the FA Cup easily. It wasn't a very one-sided game.
They've just conceded 9 against Man United, so they're obviously not that good, are they?
You ready for this? Millwall went to the wire. Millwall's youth is better than Liverpool's youth.
I believe it.
They are fucking brilliant.
They're absolutely smashed by Man United, 9-1.
But it's just Millwall.
For the greatest
I tell you
youth team
what,
in
if
the world.
Millwall can keep hold of some of their young players,
I think they normally do to begin with.
they've got a good.
don't they, at the
They've got a
lower
good
leagues?
future. They've got a good future, or they're going to make some good money out of it. You know, because at the end of the day, clubs like
It's about survival. isn't it?
championship
That's
teams.
right.
That's your big earners. That is your youth academy, and
Yeah, of course it is.
they've got a good academy.
Because the thing is there's technically no money in bringing them into the club.
No.
But if you can sell them for 15, 20 million, or sometimes even more, Jesus, you're on to
Yeah,
a
they got
winner
some-
then, aren't you?
So
They keep you going for years.
I was actually impressed by Millwall. I honestly have to say, Millwall's. Yeah, they brought some good fans up. They sold.
I did start thinking he just got a thing against teams in blue. So
That FA Youth Trophy should be played somewhere about an hour and a half away from both Manchester and Leeds. So you're looking somewhere in the Midlands, really, aren't you, for the game?
Villa Park.
Burton. But even Burton...
Nah, it needs to be bigger than Burton. The Pirelli Stadium.
Academy thing. St George's Park, I mean. You know, not giving the team that probably train there an advantage.
But I think they should. I think they should get a stadium. Just get a small stadium. You only need 20,000. Don't put it
Stoke.
and don't put it on at the same time as the main.
Where we going there, I think.
Don't put it on the same day.
You know what I mean? Coming down Leeds to Stoke.
Yeah, no, it would make sense.
Down the M1. Sorry. and obviously Manchester to Stoke going down the M6. You know, the traffic's not on the same route, but probably the similar distance.
You're not going to get
a bit closer for Manchester.
A bit closer for Manchester, yeah.
But you're going to have
not too bad.
Ellen Road is going to be packed on that last game. It's going to be. It always is, and it's going to be. How many of those would have gone to the under-18s final?
At least 3.
No, honestly, if it was
at the end of the day, it's a final. Whatever we're going to say, it's a final.
Enough, they made a big deal, and it was down there. It was within 2-hour drive, and it was a proper day of it.
I've got to be honest. If
15,000 leads.
If I hadn't got plans with the kids on May the 4th, if it had been a Saturday where I hadn't got plans,
we'd have probably gone.
I would have said, let's get tickets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because why not?
Well, I know that on the Leeds side, they're trying to get a change of venue and date. But
they've got to get a change of venue.
I think so.
100% they've got to go change of venue.
Because I looked to see where it was, when it was.
It took me ages to find out.
And it said to be determined.
Like the Champions League final.
Basically, they're going to pick a ground based on what teams are going to be there.
When you play the Champions League, you know before it kicks off, that's where the finals is. So if the team gets there, the team gets there.
Yeah.
You knew at the start that's where the final's going to be.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You can't get to the final, go City and the Leeds. Okay, well, just playing City then. Whose idea was that? Who decided that was a good idea?
If it was Millwall that got through, it wouldn't be at Manchester because they'd probably play it in the middle. It'd probably be at Villa Park or something.
Or Birmingham or Coventry or somewhere.
No, it's just as a home fixture. That's how it is. When I went on the FA site and I read a whole article on it, it's because Man City were the home fixture.
That's dog shit, that isn't it? You can't do that, surely. Right,
but why are they? My argument is, why are they not making a bigger thing out of it? Why is it just brushed aside to it could play at the
Because it is the under-18s, but they don't realise that there are people that would be interested in youth football,
especially when it's a trophy.
Exactly, yeah. Especially when it's a final.
They don't have to charge much money for it.
If they get a change of date, we probably will go. Because I'll go, and I know you'll go. You'll go if you get the time off. But I know we'll end up going, 100%. Yeah. It'll replace our trip to Wembley that we're not getting now.
Get a playoff final. Leeds versus Southampton playoff final.
That'd be interesting. We'd have to find him afterwards. He wouldn't sit in the same end as us. To be fair, I'd probably have to find you. I'd probably go sit in the Leeds end.
Yeah, you wouldn't get tickets. Leeds end would sell out.
You'd struggle.
He'd struggle get a ticket in the Leeds end.
And I'm a club member.
Yeah, probably struggle actually. You don't think we'd struggle getting in the Saints end?
No, because I've got me membership
Come on, the
anyway.
Saints! You know well, I'm not that fickle when it comes to you two. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be interesting. I think you'll go up anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
we'll be going celebrating, supporting you against the Tractor Boys maybe. In the final. It'd be a good game though. A cracking game. You against Ipswich in the playoff final.
Unless Norwich beat them again and it's us v Norwich.
Oh yes, that is the great rivalry, Norwich and Ipswich. Yeah,
but saying where does it rank in terms of derbies?
Oh,
my argument is they claim that Crystal Palace and Brighton is not a rivalry, but Crystal Palace and Brighton's grounds are closer than Norwich and Ipswich. I think you'll find. Look on the map.
Yeah, because that part is massive.
Norwich and Ipswich are actually more miles away from each other than Brighton and Crystal Palace.
So going on rivalries, Jim White came out on TalkSport and tried to make out that Rangers and Celtic is a bigger rivalry than Manchester and Liverpool.
It is for Scottish people.
Yeah,
it is.
Did you know
Celtic fan.
that the most watched game globally is Man United versus Liverpool?
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
And the best is, it's not technically it's not a derby.
Yeah. So it's a rivalry.
It's a rivalry.
Yeah, it's a rivalry.
It's not a derby.
So is he wrong if he said so? With Jim White,
no, he said the rivalry is bigger. The rivalry is bigger. It's a bigger rivalry. It's a bigger game.
It is to Scottish people.
Yeah. I just found it hilarious how he's comparing a game that about 8 people are going to watch on TV versus like millions around the world.
Right. Have you ever met
Galatasaray and Fenerbahce? They kill each other. Have their rivalry. You know what I mean?
Have you ever met 5 people that support Celtic in your life?
Yes.
personally?
Yes.
Have you ever met 5 people personally that support Glasgow Rangers?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever met?
Keep in
5
mind where
people,
I'm from. There's a lot of Scottish.
Have you ever met 5 people that support any other Scottish club?
Not 5.
Thank you.
No.
There's only 2 teams in fucking Scotland. So when your kids are growing up, look at now. Look at now. Right, we go back to when we were in school. Who did kids support? Everton, Liverpool, and Man United. Why? Because they were fucking winning everything. So kids in Scotland, they grow up. That's why everyone in fucking Holland support Ajax. And they go, oh, Ajax have got the best youth team. Of course they have, because every kid wants to play there. If a kid in Holland knows they're a great player, they're not going to accept to go to HSV or HBC or NatWest or any other fucking club that have got stupid letters in the name, are they? TSB or whatever it is they've got over there. They're going to want to play for Ajax because they know that they're the only team in Holland. The same way the people in Scotland, yeah, you'll get a few. Like you get some over here. We get some avid Stafford Rangers fans or some avid Macclesfield fans or avid Tamworth fans. But I'd like to point out, actually, Daryl messaged me during this week and said that he would like to give me a shout out. I actually nearly forgot Daryl, so I apologise for that. But Tamworth are on their 2nd consecutive promotion into the National League next season. So a massive congratulations to Tamworth on 2 successive promotions, which isn't easy at any level of football. Even Sunday League, successive promotions is not easy. So fair play to Tamworth. They've obviously done really well.
You say successive promotions. It's like Ipswich going on about, we got promoted from League One last year and now we're unexpected to go up the next year. Like it never happens. Guess what, Ipswich? We did it. When we were in League One, we come second in League One, and then we come second in the Championship to get to the Premier League. So you're not the first team to do it. You won't be the last team to do it, and you ain't even done it yet. There we go.
Where's Salt Bay when you need it, right?
You say something, and it reminds me of something that annoyed me during the week.
I got that. I got that loud and clear.
I don't dislike Ipswich either.
He does.
He does a bit, but sometimes
I don't know of any club other than the Leeds he actually likes.
It's them things that we always say. Some fans say some stupid shit.
Yeah, so I like Wolves great on me, but it's only because their fans constantly go Wolves, aye, were you? And I find it really irritating.
I mean, all 3 of us say stupid shit every week, and we've got 109 people
109
watching this
people that
stupid
have
shit.
subscribed to us, and we do love each and every one of you because we don't understand you, so we love you all the more. But yeah, we're going to keep spouting bollocks anyway, just because it's what we do and we enjoy it, and we've got no reason to stop. It's like there's a couple of people that have messaged us and sent emails. And they're basically, it's the usual, good, blah, 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 you're all shit, and this. Someone messaged us on, it proper made me laugh, actually. Insults shouldn't make me laugh, but honestly, I did laugh out loud.
Oh, yeah?
Because I wasn't expecting it. I seen that we've got a couple of messages on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I have messages. Because lately, all the messages have been about either the Everton shirt, or keep going, or try this for your sound, or try this for it's like people trying to help.
Is it not with fat this time, or?
Oh, it's sort of along them lines. It was, right. Yeah, I went on, it was like, fucking hell, what was it? Fucking hell, you've got the diabetics bench. Mate, honestly, it proper made me giggle.
I am diabetic as well.
You are actually diabetic, yeah. So yeah, it did make me giggle. But I put underneath going, yeah, but it's a fucking strong bench though, isn't it?
Yeah, holding you to it.
That's exactly where I was going with it. And I didn't get a response. I thought, oh, that kind of ends that. But it did make me giggle though. I thought that was quite funny. Diabetic FC bench.
I think it's going to take a lot to insult us.
Yeah, mainly because they're not going to insult us any more than we insult each other.
Yeah.
Because certainly off camera, we absolutely annihilate each other. So if someone wants to try and beat it, bring it on, because you have got some going.
It's okay.
Because we rip each other apart when we're not on camera. So we're basically used to it. And most of what you'll say to us, we've probably said to each other at some point or another. And we just don't care enough for it to insult us anyway. So you need to pick a different podcast to insult, because we just don't care.
And it's great because the people that insult and they're like, it's rubbish, give up your day jobs. It's like, well, you just spent your time listening to it.
There was one of them on Instagram. Someone had put under one of the Instagram videos, they put off, any idiot will start a podcast these days. It's pathetic. And I went, no, what's pathetic is watching a clip of something you're not happy with, then taking the time to respond, therefore making the algorithm play us to other people more. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the one with the illness here, mate.
Yeah.
You are.
We love some positive comments. We don't mind the negative comments.
I quite enjoy them because they do make me giggle sometimes. They really do make me giggle. So sometimes you enjoy the negative more than the positive. And to be fair, every comment you hit pushes your video further up the food chain.
And sometimes do like to go on social media and poke some bears.
Poke the bear. It's got to be done.
Yeah,
it's got to be done. Yeah, this like you're not gonna know, but this video has been heavily edited. Because I was poking apparently too many bears and the wrong bears, and I was poking them with sticks that were on fire, and apparently it wasn't correct. So, yeah, you'll hear a snippet, but it's been heavily edited. The unedited version. sundayleaguepundits at outlook.com, and we shall see you next week. Thank you very much for joining us. We love you all.